Donald Trump took a page out of Hillary Clinton's book, and he decided to go full neocon. So The Intercept explains here, Donald Trump named former CIA director and extremist neoconservative James Woolsey his senior advisor on national security issues on Monday. Woolsey, who left the CIA in 1995, went on to become one of Washington's most outspoken promoters of the U.S. war in Iraq and the Middle East. He was a key member of the Project for the New American Century, a neoconservative think tank largely founded to encourage a second war with Iraq. Woolsey has also put himself in a position to profit from the wars he has promoted. He has served as vice president of Pentagon contracting giant Booz Allen and as chairman of Paladin Capital Group, a private equity fund that invests in national security and cybersecurity. He chairs the Leadership Council at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, a hawkish national security nonprofit, and is a venture partner with Lux Capital Management, which invests in emerging technologies like drones, satellite imaging, and artificial intelligence. Woolsey went on CNN on Monday and said that he was principally motivated to support Trump because of his plans to expand U.S. military spending. So, Trump also, for the record, said that he'd hire John Bolton to be Secretary of State. For those of you who don't know, John Bolton is perhaps the worst neocon. Worse than even Dick Cheney. That's hard to say, but I think it's true. He's the dumbest, he's the least reflective, and he is the most reactionary in the sense that he really does just call for war with everybody. Like, he wants war with Iran, he wants war with Syria, he wants any fucking country that is 0.2% our enemy or more. He's like, war, do it, war, American power, that's what always solves everything. It solves everything. And this is why I call it a fundamentalist religion, because the answer is always the same. To the people, to the neocons and the people who believe in American exceptionalism, the answer is always more war, more torture, more America, never less. And we can fix everything, even though it's been demonstrably proven that we can't. And also the hilarious contradiction in their ideology of, at the same time that we want war with everybody, strengthen our relationship with Saudi Arabia. So the people who are most responsible for spreading radical Islamic terrorism, they're like, no, they're cool. But everybody else, we're going to come after everybody else. So buckle up. It's just the dumbest position on the planet. Also, Woolsey has previously called for NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden, quote, to be hanged by the neck until he's dead rather than merely executed. Or electrocuted. So, Trump hired a guy who wants to murder Edward Snowden for being an American hero and standing up for the Constitution. Trump is hiring a guy who is one of the worst offenders and neocons. He also is trying to hire the worst neocon, John Bolton, to be Secretary of State, which would be an utter disaster. And somehow he also manages to go around and pretend that at times he's not interventionist. That's cute. So, look, I want to be crystal clear about all this stuff. Do I think Hillary Clinton, is pandering to neocons and agrees with neocons on a lot of stuff? Yes, I do, which is why I think she'd be a disastrous president. She's way too hawkish. Her stance on Syria is horrific. She wants a no-fly zone, which would escalate and get us more involved and may even lead to World War III with Russia, because if Russian planes go into the no-fly zone, what are you going to do, shoot them down and start World War III? Terrible idea. She was against even negotiating with Iran in the first place, even though now she takes credit for the deal. That's a fucking disaster also. She called Obama naive for wanting to talk to Iran without preconditions. She was dead wrong on that. She's still way too hawkish in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the list goes on and on. So I have zero love for Hillary Clinton on foreign policy. Everybody knows that. But my point is, if I had to guess how Trump would be when he's president and where the actual evidence points to, I think whatever he's said that's non-interventionist is just rhetoric. And what he would actually do is, he wants to be a big-time player, guys. He wants to be an insider. He wants to be part of the establishment. He's been yearning for establishment respect his entire life. So when he finally gets a little bit of it with certain neocons like John Bolton and this guy James Woolsey here, when he finally gets them on his team and oh yes, I'm a player, I have big names with me now, people who are insiders in Washington, you don't think he's going to do their bidding? You don't think he's going to listen to them? I think he absolutely is. you can say you're the most non-interventionist guy there is, but if you hire James Woolsey and John Bolton, I mean, that would be like Bernie Sanders hiring James Woolsey or John Bolton. He says, "No, let's stop doing regime change. Let's nip it in the bud." But if he hired those people, everybody, even the biggest Bernie supporters, I would certainly say, "But what the fuck are you doing, Bernie? I guess you're lying to me about all the non-interventionist stuff. You just hired the biggest interventionists, the biggest ones." So that's unacceptable. It'd be unacceptable in Bernie's situation. It's unacceptable in Trump's situation. So bottom line, you vote for Hillary Clinton, you get a neocon. You vote for Donald Trump, you get a neocon. That's where we're at right now. And this, unfortunately, is the state of the race. And this is why I think it's the worst race in American history. Although the one with Van Buren was a son of a bitch. That was a terrible joke. But no, this really is one of the worst, if not the worst, elections in American history. Because they're both proven liars. They're both, at the end of the day, corrupt insiders. Hillary has a longer track record, and she's played that game longer. And they're also going to be neocons. Hear me now, quote me later. If you think Trump is some sort of anti-establishment savior, you are dead wrong.